Hey everyone, Kyle once again. Welcome back to the review for Halloween month. Well, not a review, but it's that time like I promised I would do. It's time for another fan commentary, which this makes my second, because my first one last year was a Deep Rising, so I promised I would do a fan commentary for Halloween month, and I said I would, and when I said I would, the first one I wanted to do is one of my all-time favorites, Tremors. Got the shirt here, and which I remember the poster was back there, but it's really quick. Now I moved the poster. Try to square it out right there, next to Deep Rising. So, yeah, but I figured for the review, I might as well have the shirt. So, but yeah, which I review this. This is the first film I reviewed from when I started here. Like, can't believe it's gonna be like, it's already been. Yeah, six years since I started this. It was the first film I reviewed, so you can check out my very first review on here was of Tremors, and then I revisited I revisited the film a while back. So I don't need to go too much on it, but I still say that I love this film to death. It's one of my all time. It's definitely one of the most classics of the sci-fi. One of the classic horror films, let alone creature feature films. So, love this film to death. Great cast, great score, great direction by Ron Underwood. I was going to say Ron Howard, but that would have been funny though. But love the effects of the graboids. It's really on the back here saying, in the tradition of the 50s horror movies, Tremors is bound to become a classic. It definitely is. I agree with it wholeheartedly. Definitely see that within the realm of the 50s horror films. So, without those wasting a lot of time with it, so I have the film ready, set up. So, now, like I said last time, no audio or nothing, just me. It's just me talking about the movie. So, it's on mute, so that YouTube doesn't get all picky about it. So, it's just, and the camera's on me, so you don't show no footage of it either. So, it's only on me, looking at it, just talking about it. So I made it clear enough just in case. So yeah. So let's get right down to it. So, fan commentary of Tremors. Starting at 1, 2, 3, go. Tremors. I got my setup here. So I got my licorice, and I got my drink here. So, and it was first, it was like I said, with a great. So open it up with our great leads. Kevin Bacon, who I love I enjoy as an actor, as Val McKee. Fred Ward, who I enjoy as an actor, as Earl Bassett. Alright, the first line when Kevin Bacon's talking when to Fred Ward, he's sleeping, he's like, "Good morning, Mr. Bassett. This is your wake-up call. Please move your ass." So many funny lines of dialogue in this film. I absolutely love. Kevin Bacon sees some cows. He's getting an idea, to scare Fred Ward. Jumping on the truck, like, "Stampede! Stampede! Oh, get out of the way! Get out of the way!" And then Fred Ward is looking. He's like, "You dumb shit." So already, this film is already starting off already hilarious. It also makes a good comedy as well. So, not for a horror film, but a great mixture of comedy too. And I just love the banter between Kevin Bacon and Fred Ward, which I stampede up your ass, Fred Ward. And I enjoy the score by Ernest Trost, like with the harmonica score part of it. I enjoy that. It's a great score by Ernest Trost. Yeah. And then they're arguing about the breakfast. Like, no breakfast? And Kevin Bacon, I ate yesterday. It was bologna and beans. No. It was eggs. I did eggs. Over easy. The hell you did? Bologna and beans. It's your turn. And of course, throughout the whole film, they do their the game of rock paper scissors. Val loses. He says, "Well, I guess when I'm your age, I forget what I eat too." So, yeah, and they're doing their work. They're handyman. They fix things. They fix things up around town and fixing the fences up for the cows. Yeah. And the screenplay by S.S. Wilson and Brent Maddock, which Maddock would direct the third Tremors film, and S.S. Wilson would go on to direct the second film, as well as the fourth film. Ron Underwood, I like City Slickers. I enjoy that film. Sadly, though, his career was killed when he directed the shitty comedy Eddie Murphy film, Adventures of Pluto Nash. That pretty much killed his career as a director. So, but this film will always be always be his best film for me, Ron Underwood. I enjoyed Tremors a lot, which I know you go on to direct some TV shows afterwards. I remember he directed a couple episodes of Once Upon a Time as well, the show. Yeah. So as they drive in, they see one of the new students out here, played by Rhonda, played by Finn Carter. Which, whatever happened to Finn Carter? I thought she did a really great job in this movie as Rhonda. Whatever happened to her? But she's here. She's here. To do seismic geology, seismic activities. Vibrations in the ground, and so like Val as I say much, and Earl as they're driving away, and Earl's like, "Damn it, Valentine, you're." It's like, you're not gonna what would he say that about? You're gonna fix a stupid list of yours top to bottom. Take like Bobby Lynn Dexter, Tammy Lynn Baxter. Oh, they're all the same. Dead weight. Oh, I broke a nail. It's like, well, yeah, I'm a victim of circumstance. Then Fred Ward's, I thought you called you Pecker. It's just a lot of fun chemistry between Fred Ward and Kevin Bacon. I highly enjoy it. It's one of my favorite pairs in films. So, yeah, Fred Ward and Kevin Bacon is one of my favorite pairs. Usually buddies in films. Because I always enjoyed what they have between each other in the movie. Dialogue wise. And then when Bobby Jacob plays Melvin, and Fred Ward's like, "Melvin, touch that truck and die." Oh man, I'm really shaking. And then we get more of our characters. We got Michael Gross playing Burt Gummer, which he's been in all the Tremors movies and including the TV series, as well as the new movies 6, 5, 6, and they're coming out with a new one called 7, which is I don't know when, like next year. But Michael Gross, he's always been great as especially in the first one was Burt Gummer, as well as the second film as well. And then his wife, played by country singer Reba McEntire. Well, I thought she did a good job in this movie too. So I like Reba McEntire. And then you got Walter Chang, played by Victor Wong, Egg Shen himself from Big Trouble in Little China, as well as starring in other John Carpenter's other film, Prince of Darkness. I enjoy Victor Wong. He's no longer with us. Died back in 2002 or 1, I think. Yeah, but I like Victor Wong from Big Trouble in Little China, Prince of Darkness, this film. Yeah, I miss Victor Wong. I know he had a little role in that film with David Caruso, Jade. He had a small role in that as well. So, as it's going on, that Rhonda is, setting up her seismic stuff, and then there's something We all know what it is. It's a graboid, following her, but it doesn't attack her. And then you got Val and Earl doing their job, like taking out the garbage. And then as they're sitting, like Val's sitting on a chair, and like gets one of their beers from a toilet seat. And it's like, man, I tell you, nobody handles garbage better than we do. And Bert's like, yep. Oh, come on, Earl, this is low. We gotta set our scores a little bit higher. And then you get a little funny scene where they're setting up this rig, this tank in front of Melvin's, and they're arguing. It's like Earl saying, "Oh, you're gonna stand there and tell me in broad daylight that I'm the reason why we're still in perfection? Do you know how close I am to leaving this place right now? I'll call that a little bluff. How close?" And then oil starts spurting out of the pipe, and they're all dirty, and Melvin's just sitting there laughing at them. So they're really packing up. They're about to move up to leave perfection to head for Bixby. Whether we're gonna get our name. Yeah, Charlotte Stewart. They stopped by Nancy, played by Charlotte Stewart, who will go to come back in the third film as well, with her daughter, played by Arania Richards, Mindy, who will of course play Lex in Jurassic Park, which she also comes back in the third Tremors film as well, was with Charlotte Stewart. So she wanted to do some work for them, but he said she'll throw in lunches and beer, but they said no to free beer. And then they see some guy on a tower, which is a person they know, named Edgar, who's basically the town drunk. So they're wondering what he's doing up there. Fredward's like, "Man, oh man, sure must have been drunk this time." "Edgar, get your butt down from there!" But seeing that he's not moving, so they play for rock paper scissors again, and Kevin Bacon goes up and starts climbing up there. And by the time because he sees them that he's really dead, he's like this. So they take him to the doctor, and they died of dehydration. They sat there for like 3 or 4 days. Sat there, just died of thirst. So they're wondering how. Then we get to another resident of perfection, Old Fred, with his flock of sheep. He sees the sheep that are acting up, and then boom, Old Fred just gets sucked right down into the ground. And then because we're back with Val and Earl, they're discussing about what happened to Edgar. Like, hey, the perfection warned us. Suppose he wanted to kill himself? Come on, somebody must have chased him up there. What do you mean, someone ain't scared of a Winchester rifle? Then what do they do? Camp out down below and just wait for him to die? And then they drive past Old Fred's farm. They see that all the sheep are been mysteriously been slaughtered. They're calling for Fred, but not around, until they see his hat in the ground. Kevin Bacon picks it up, which back then when I was a little kid, that always gave me a little jump scare. Back when I was a kid, when all of a sudden the face just pops up from under the hat like this. I won't mind that. When I first saw it, I was a kid, that did give me a jump scare right there. And then Kevin Bacon's like, well, what the hell's going on? I mean, what the hell's going on? So they're driving back. They come to where the two construction workers telling him that there is a killer on the loose. The one guy says, "Oh, they're pulling our chain." So the guy is drilling, and then there is that screeching noise. Then you see the bleeding blood, and then just takes the jackhammer with it. But the guy's foot gets caught in the cord, which sometimes happens. You see that happen in other horror films when their foot gets caught on something. Gets dragged up the hill, then it causes a rock slide to block in the road, and that other construction worker gets killed. And then there's more. You get introduced back in the Walter Chang's place. You get two more characters. You got Nestor, and you got which was a Nestor. Get the guy's name, which I completely forgot about. So you probably when I mentioned my review the first film. Nestor, played by Richard Marcus, he was an enemy mine with Dennis Quaid and Louis Gossett Jr. And then you got Miguel, who was also come back in the third Tremors film as well, played by Tony Gennaro. Gennaro, which sadly passed away like from a few years ago as Miguel. So the phone is dead, so they're gonna head back to Bixby again until they see the road is out. And then Kevin Bacon's like, "Hey, where are you guys? It's not like there's another road, asshole." And then Fred Ward sees one of the hard hats. It's like good little decent gore effect where you see like freaking brains and stuff like on the helmet. So you get some decent gory bits right there. Like I said, brains in the helmet. Then Kevin Bacon, he backs up to the wall, and then the truck gets stalled out, which Fred Ward says he hung up. Like, I am not. And then when finally they get off, and then Fred Ward's like, you know you could break an axle like that. Could you shut up? Hey, I don't need to spend the night out here. And then Kevin Bacon goes and says, "Cry, baby." I was like, "Cry, baby." So they get back. They see this thing that's been stuck a pin up under their truck. I think it's a some kind of a snake. They don't know what it is. And then Victor Wong saying that he was like, "Oh, I'll give you boys $5 for this." And Kevin Bacon's like, "20. Okay, 10. Fred Ward's like, 15. Okay, 15. So this is suggesting that one of them could just couldn't eat up Fred and his whole flock of sheep. So it says just there's more of them out there. Then we get to like kind of to the doctor with his wife, because they're trying to like build their home there. And just to know more, just more and more of this. Like I said, growing up with this film, I love this. Why I love this film to death, because I used to watch this all the time. I have VHS, which I do have, but man, it's just kind of it's one of my all-time favorites. One of the best creature features, though. So anyway, get back. We know that the doctor's the generator goes out. He goes and looks. It's gone. It's like the quarters still there. No. Then someone shoots it out of the ground. And then he's getting the doctor, he's getting sucked underneath. Which that kind of sucks, because he's being swallowed up, basically. and it just it is something that you would see from from an old 50s horror film. So yeah, but he's just been sucked down to the ground, and then one of the tentacles pop up, and then the wife runs into the car. Like I said, well done effects on the graboids as well as with the tentacles and stuff. Then the wife knocks over the radio because we know the graboids, they're attracted by noise. So then the station wagon is getting sucked under the ground this way, downward from the back end downward up, until it's being dragged all the way down completely, and then the wife gets buried, well, presumably eaten as well, as the headlights disappear. And then back in town in the market, where they're discussing what to do since the road has been blocked off. And then Michael Gross says, we arm ourselves, we sit perimeter, we stand guard. And it's like, what do you people have against being prepared? And you hear Kevin Bacon saying, Rambo. So they're sort what other ways to get to Bixby. So they're suggesting using some horses. And they're saying, Michael Gross saying, who's best on a horse? And then they all the rest of the gang, they turn around, they look at Kevin Bacon and Fred Ward. So they're gonna get on the horses. Before that, they're gonna go to go for their first stop by the doctor's place, and then Melvin comes out with that tentacle wrapped around his neck, playing a joke on them. Which is you just like to hate him because he's always acting like a twat though, but and Michael goes like, you came that close, no more games. Which I always wondered who. Melvin's seems to be always living on his own. Where's his parents and all that? So, if he's living on his own, who are his parents? That's why I always wondered growing up. You see him, he's living on his own, and we don't know where his parents are at. So I don't know what's going. I don't know whatever happened with that. So by the morning comes, it was already morning. So they go by the doctor's place. They find that the car is gone, but they hear that they still hear music going, and they come across. They hear a metallic sound. So they're digging up the dirt. And they see the front of the grill of the car, seeing that it's been buried. So as they're riding on the horses, they notice that the horses are here. They're noticing that ain't right, and then one falls off of his horse, and then Earl's horse gets wrapped in with the tentacles. Yeah, which you know, every time my mom watches that scene, she says, "Oh, I feel bad for the horse," because my mom loves this. My mom loves this film too. So every time I watch it, it's like, "Oh, feels bad about the horse," and then something rubs from under them, and then it's like, "Must be a million of them." Nope, just one, and then we get the really great effects of the graboid. Always love the look of the graboids, for how the way they look, from the big body to the tentacles, 3 of them each, and to me, back then, this was like an original idea for a look of a monster. So, yeah. And like again with the graboids, it's just really quick. It's sad that, you know, because nowadays with films now, which I'm surprised. Well, I know I know that they're planning already doing a seventh one with Michael Gross coming back. I think Jamie Kennedy as well. I'm not sure on that though. But I didn't like the 5th film. I did not like the 6th film. To me, the 4th film was better than both of them, and I'm not especially the 5 and 6 were directed by the same guy. What was the guy? Oh, Don Michael Paul, I think. I'm not a fan of that guy, so I didn't even like those. I didn't like 5 and 6. So what's me gonna like about the 7th movie? But the graboid, because essentially a lot of both those films had some bad CGI, sadly. Because what makes the first film, let alone the second film, great, you know, because they use deal with a small minimum budget, and was at the time the practical effects, the graboids and the shriekers were great. I know Tremors 2 had a little bit of CG enhancements on the shriekers though, but still, for the most part, well done puppetry effects, excellent, as well as the first film with grade A, excellent, top notch of monster effects on the graboids. I always loved the look of the graboids too. So when growing up, you know, one of my favorite looks of monsters I grew up with. So. But anyway, yeah. So I had a pause at that moment when when the graboid popped up. So just, you know, to give a look at how back then how great the effects were, because if they do see with these new Tremors sequels, you know, they change the looks of them, and so this bad CGI, and just it kind of defeats the purpose of what the great was for the effects of the first film was. So. But we get back, you know, the Valinor, they're running away, and then they see that concrete ridge. They jump, they make a jump, and then they fall down, and then the graboid, since it has no eyes, it just kills itself by running into the concrete wall. and Earl's like, "Stupid son of a bitch, knocked itself cold." Then one of the tentacles just comes out dead. And Kevin Bacon's like, "Cold my ass. He's dead. We killed it." Kevin Bacon bursts out, "Fuck you!" Wait, you get the one F-bomb in there, because this is PG-13, so you get the one F-bomb in there, which I always love when he yells like, "Fuck you!" And then Runner shows up, and then as you see what that is, they pull it out of the wall, and just as they're looking at it, just the up close looking effects of the slobber and blood, and just the, like I said, once again, great effects. So yeah, it's like Fred Ward's like, you know, I think they shoot right out of its mouth, and they hook you, and pull you right in. So, and then Kevin Bacon, he like deals with the rest of the body. He's like, I found the ass end. Yeah, it's just the graboids is one big giant worm. And which I really, just really quick once again, like I said, it says it pays in the tradition of the 50s horror movies, which I definitely agree with, because, you know, especially it's like consider like these, it's considered like it's like a Western horror film, because it is kind of takes like this, it is like in the West basically. Well, it's in Nevada, so it is kind of like in the West. So yeah, in the way, because you know how like in this way, like with this dealing with this is like these are giant worms that I feel I can relate to. You know, like with the giant ants from Them. Especially one such I can relate to is Them. But yeah. I can see why this is in the tradition of the 50s horror films. Essentially, sort of like done in the West in a way. Well, I know Tremors far back to the Legend Begins, though. It definitely takes place in the Wild West, though. But here, it's like like a little bit of a modern West horror film. So. But you know, this back then. To me, I think it was like an original thing. You know, so because I know I think it was the director Ron Underwood. I think it was. He got the idea because later on, like in a little bit after this, where he's just because when they're sitting on rocks, you know, that's how he got the idea. Because he was sitting on a rock, just thinking, out in this open desert. But yeah, to me, this like this whole premise of the film was kind of like an original thing, you know, for a monster horror film. With to me, like an original design, look of the creatures, really cool looking. So, yeah. But anyway, I paused in a moment again. But I just wanted to give like I said, I'm commentating how great on a lot of things is how this film is. What makes this film so great, as I'm trying to get at. So. But continuing on, when they dig up the graboid, and so Rhonda is like, you know, looking at its body, is like pushing itself with like the spikes it has, and Fred was like, "Hey, Rhonda, ever heard anything like this before?" And Kevin Bacon goes, "Oh, sure, everybody knows about him. We just didn't tell you." And when Fred Ward is like, "I'll tell you one damn thing, old Chang ain't gonna get his slick miss on this for no measly $15." Like, he got that right. And then Rhonda, you know, going through her papers of each of the seismic activities, discovering that there's three. Since she laid them out all over the valley, so there's like different time rings. So you can tell she was saying there are 3 more of them. And then you get another hilarious part for me, where they're walking, and then Fred Ward falls, and Holly starts screaming, "Ah!" It's like damn prairie dog burrow. Which that's always the one that makes me laugh is how the way Fred Ward, how he screams, that always kind of made me laugh. It's like, ah! Yeah, that always made me laugh. Just how the way he screams. Because it's like little moments like those that I always thought that was also hilarious as well. Just little touches. So she sees that another one is coming, so they're gonna make a run for it. They run on top of the rock, which, like I said, that's how the idea came, was sitting on top of the rock, you know, in the middle of the desert, just thinking. imagine being stuck on a rock by something, so. And they say that one of them is missing, like, one of his tentacles is, like, missing, like, most of it, which is indicating that was the one that grabbed their truck earlier. and Kevin Bacon, he's like, like that. It's like, oh man, the live ones smell worse than the dead ones. So then they're just sitting there waiting a while, discussing how would these things remain. It's like, I was like, the mutations caused by radiations, or no, government built them. Big surprise for the Russians. And then Fred Ward is like, I vote for outer space. No way, these are local boys. And they're just saying, since they've been there a while, they're thinking it must be long gone by now. They said they gotta do something. So Kevin Bacon, he's eating a piece of wood. He starts pounding on the ground with a piece of wood. Then one of the tentacles grabs it, and Fred Ward's like, son of a goddamn bitch. And telling Finn Carter, like, pardon my French. And that's when Kevin Bacon suggested, well, it's got no eyes, right? Sure as hell can't smell us underground. I say it's been listening. That's what Ron says is it senses seismic vibration noise. So now eventually, they're going to spend the night on the rock. So, as they wake up the next morning, they're going to see if the graboid's still there. If you throw that shovel and it's still there. And then Val and Earl are just arguing what kind of plan they have to get. It's like Rhonda's saying she's got a plan though, but then Farrell's like, we gotta come up with some sort of plan. And she's like, and the two of them just argue what they're just trying to think of. So, and then Finn Carr gets one of those wooden poles and just pole vaults across the other rock. And then and Fred Ward gets other poles, and then and then he tries to where he tries to go first, and he screws up. And he's like he falls backwards. And he's like going shit. And then Kevin Bacon, he just makes it over fine. And then once you get that good, you get that harmonica score by Ernest Truce. But to say it's a score that you don't ever hear of in films, especially with using like a harmonica, Which that was a good thing to do for a score. We don't hear that in films nowadays. For all as I know, this is like the only film I hear with like a score using like mostly like a harmonica. And that's sad. So they get to her truck, they hop on. And then Kevin Bacon, gives a good sucker punch right to one of the tentacles. Which I thought was a little badass right there. He goes and sucker punches one. So like if Finn Carter is like she's like when she's like went through like the open window in the back of her truck and she's like head first into the driver's seat, so she's hitting the gas. And the funny thing is, if you pause a freeze frame a certain part when it shows all three of them, right, and you actually do see a guy actually driving the truck, like behind Kevin Bacon. You can actually see a guy driving the truck when Rhonda's saying, "Can someone perhaps help me?" Yeah, you can actually see the person driving the truck if you like pause it right when she sees that when she says that line. So they're back into town and discussing what they're asking what are these creatures are and where do they come from. And then Victor Wong, he's like he's discussing, we should name them. So like him and Melvin are like giving just throwing out names, and then when they're saying someone's gonna check on us, Nancy said that, and then Ness says, yeah, that's how it works. And then it cuts back to like where the rock slide was. On the other side of the rock slide, there is a vehicle where two other worker guys gets killed. You just see their hats and like a little bit of blood. So like two off-screen kills. And then when they're discussing how they should get out, then Val gets the map, is saying how the graboids got everyone else except for everybody in town. So it's like, this valley is just one long smorgasbord. And then Victor Wong's like, that's why I like graboids. That's it, graboids. Jesus, Walter. Gonna be sorry if we don't give it a name. So, as they're discussing, there's another way they can get out there is that that Jeep trail that up the mountains. So like it's like solid, whatever it was again, granite. I think granite. They can be safe on hike all the way to Bixby. If they take that route, and then Melvin, once again being the twat that he is, scares Fred Ward with the basketball. He's like, "You little ass wipe. You'll knock it off, you're gonna be shitting this basketball." Pardon my French. Pardon my French. And then Melvin gets attacked for real, and they think, oh, he's doing the same thing again, so he's like, damn it, I'm gonna kick his ass. Until they see him up on the pole, and then I like when they're like, Melvin, get your... And then they both look at each other, and like, uh-oh. And then when it pops up, and then... excuse me there. Excuse me there. So I was like, when it's like, Melvin, get your, and then they both look at each other. It's like, uh-oh. And then one of them pops up, and then they all run inside. Well, like Melvin gets in the shack, Nextdoor runs to his place. And then they hear, they hear it's like rumbling, like shaking the store. You see like the shelves slightly shaking a bit more. And then Finn Carr saying, "No noise," right, whispering, and then they hear Mindy on the pogo stick. As they're listening, they were both like, the faces like Kevin Bacon and Fred Ward given. Which they're telling her stuff, but she can't hear. She has the she has headphones on. You know, the old Walkman headphones. So then Kevin Bacon running, just grabs her, and then as the pogo stick is still on the ground, and just sucks it right down. But since it's not food, it spits it back out. And Kevin Bacon runs on top of the truck and starts shaking it, flattens the tires. And then Fred Ward sees another one coming, and he's like, "Jesus, here comes another one!" So like he runs back to the store. Finn Carr runs in the other direction, but she gets her foot caught in some barbed wires, and well, she would be able to go up, but the thing, the graboid pops from under. She rolls, and now her feet are completely entangled in the barbed wire. And then the graboid is showing how smart it is. The three tentacles starts pulling the plank of wood and just starts reeling her in with the barbed wire. Starts pulling her, reeling her in. And then Kevin Bacon, like a badass, just gets a pickaxe, just swings it right at it. And then one of the tentacles just grabs it and takes it off. And then Kevin Bacon telling her to get out of her pants because the way to get out of the barbed wire. So he just tells her to take off her pants. Then another one pops behind them as they're running. And then like the porch, the wooden planks of the porch just goes because it knows that it's coming. So now that Kevin Bacon addresses her wounds because of the barbed wire, discussing what else they should do. And then the what was the thing, the ice cream machine where you can put like the ice cream in, like that, the ice cream machine, it goes off, makes that awful squeaking noise, which Val, Earl, and Walter pull it back to turn it off, but it's too late. And which you get one of the best death in the movie. Which is sad it's sad to see Victor Wong get killed. It's always sad because from Prince of Darkness to Big Trouble in Little China, as to see him gets Victor Wong getting swallowed up by the graboid. Like you see really physically him getting in the mouth of the graboid. Like this, look at the tentacles grab him, pulling him in. They're trying to give me your hand, but Like I said, it's really well done, like the animatronic effects as well as getting the, you know. Well, first he does this movie, we can see it's a stunt double. Then the next thing is see Victor Wong as he's being pulled down to the ground. Yeah, but that's like one of the very iconic deaths in for me for a creature feature film, seeing the death of Walter Chang being swallowed up by the graboid. And I watched I watched like this clip this clip on YouTube. You know, I read the comments. You know, like it's like this. And people's like, you know, I see people comments like, oh, wait a minute, bye to the film, or where we're doing like jazz hands and like that. This is like stuff like in the comments I read from this clip of the scene here. So, but yeah, but to me it's a yeah, sad to see Victor Wong get killed because I like Victor Wong, but at the same time, it's a very to me I think it's a memorable death as well. And then Kevin Bacon is like, son of a bitch, son of a bitch, son of a bitch. So then, Finn Carr, she climbs up on the shelves as we get Val, Earl, and Miguel. They climb up to the roof. And then the tentacles, they knock over smart. It shows that these creatures can use their brains. You know, like how they reel Rhonda in with the barbed wire, and then even one of getting the pickaxe out of the back, and then just showing they can just go and push the shells over. So these creatures, they may be blind and all though, but they can sometimes they do tend to have a brain. But Rhonda, she gets pushed outside, then makes it to the water tower. And Kevin Bacon, it's like, you okay? He's like, and then Melvin, he's making noise, and he gets on his roof. And then they're telling everyone else to get up on the roofs. And then when Michael Gross and Reba McEntire, they get back to their house. And then Reba McEntire, she looks at the binoculars, seeing that everybody else is on roofs, and they're wondering, you know, what's going on. And you know, Kevin Bacon, you know, since Michael Gross is calling on the CB radio, so they get the radio. And then when the Reba McEntire, she gets like put some bullets in this mixing machine with some, I guess, some sawdust. I don't know what it was, some kind of dirt mixing in with some bullets. So, but that's creating noise. Then here one of the graboids senses it's heading towards their place. And then Kevin Bacon telling him, you know, tell him to get up on your roof, and the things they're coming, and then Reba McEntire, Michael Gross, they arm themselves with their guns, but they don't see anything. And Kevin Bacon said, you know, they're under the ground. They're under the ground. Yes. Yeah, they're under the ground. They can dig like a son of a bitch. Big monsters underground and get out. Hurry. And then they hear, of course, the shake in, and then the wall in front of them. But they break through their back wall, and which they think he's dead though, because the radio cut off though. But they hear, and then with the distance from their house, from where they're at, they hear the loud noise of the gunshots. They're just shooting and shooting everything they got, which is I thought was always still a very fun scene where they have all this wall of rows of racks of guns, all this ammunition, and like Michael Gross, he gets tugged by one. Reed McIntyre blows one of the tentacles off, and they're just going at it, just fun gunfight, just getting all these guns they have and just starts shooting at it, blowing holes into the thing. And then Michael Gross goes and just gets the literally brings up the big gun, the elephant gun, which is get these big huge freaking elephant shells. Shoots it once and then shoots it twice and just blows a hole in the graboid's mouth and just finally just drops dead. And then Michael Gross is just like, broke in the wrong goddamn rec room, didn't you, you bastard? Now, of course, they're on the radio saying, we killed that mother humper. Which, of course, they couldn't use it because they already used their one F-bomb when Kevin Bacon said earlier, because this is PG-13, so if they... And Kevin Bacon also says the word, there are two mother humpers, so... You can clearly tell what they did a little bit where they said mother humper instead of mother effer. So, like I said, otherwise it would get an R rating because of that though. But they already used their one F-bomb for that one scene earlier when Kevin Bacon was like, "Fuck you." So you can still clearly hear that that it was supposed to be mother effer, so instead of mother humper. So they tell him, Burt killed one, so then there's another one's at their house, but shoots it with the elephant gun, but doesn't do anything. So they tell him it does nothing, and then Fred Ward tells can he tells him of a different plan. Can you get to their truck so they can head up towards the mountain? And they see that those three tentacles, one with the most of it missing, from when they grab the truck, and then it starts like moving in the store, making trying to make the place come down slowly. And then Nancy's house gets rattled. So they're wondering why I wasn't bothering, because they weren't bothering them though. But it's like they can feel our vibrations, but they can't find us. And then they move on to another one moves into Nestor's place, which he's just sitting on a trailer, so his is easy to move. So his gets knocked over, he falls down. And they tell him to get off the ground, Nestor. And then he goes and moves on this big tire. He's like, no, that's no good. You know, come on, you gotta get higher. But then he gets sucked down. He dies. Which, yeah, you can't say he died from his stupidity because, you know, yeah, I think a tire would be not that high enough, especially it's a big old tire, easy for him to get grabbed at. But yeah, he gets sucked down. He dies. Yeah, to Val's explain on the radio, you know, yeah, things are bad over here. And then the grab back at their place, you know, being smart, so it just attacks their truck and basically, you know, it starts, you know, flattening all the tires. Reed McIntyre saying, Val, you're going to forget about the truck. And then Val say, oh, we need a helicopter, that's what we need, or a goddamn tank. And then Fred Ward saying, oh, the cat, can we take the cat? Which is the bulldozer. But they're saying they can like drag something behind it. So it's like, oh, that's the old semi-trailer. Its tires are flat. Doesn't matter, that cat could pull anything. Well, alright. We just roll on out of here. But the bulldozer and the trailer, it's like far away from where they're at. It's like, of course, that's a hell of a long walk. So they have a way to distract them with a decoy, with that little tractor they have there. Fred was like, hey Melvin, wanna make a buck? Ah, eat it. And then they get attacked again. The roof starts to cave in a bit more. So Miguel, since it was his idea, he goes down there to rig the tractor up. And then Nancy's house gets attacked again. And then now Val and Earl are fighting who gets to go run for the cat. It's like, I'm making a run for the cat. Like hell you are. Get real, or I'm faster than you. Well, I'm faster driving the cat. Not while I'm around. Well, damn it, now listen to me. I'm older and I'm wiser. Yeah, well, you're half right. And they play rock, paper, scissors again, and Val's like, damn, I lost. Guess I'll have to do it. No. I won. I pick who does it. So Miguel sets the tractor off as it's going along. All the graboids are taking the bait. And then when Val wants to do, you know, like one of the, like sort of the high fire stuff, he goes and elbows him, and he goes and runs, for the tractor, and Fred Ward's like, oh, you suicidal son of a bitch. Excuse me. So he's running, and then as the graboids are about to get the tractor the tractor tips over, shuts itself up. So like the graboid stops right in front of the tractor, but Val keeps on going, goes out, but it's going to go after him, but then realizes he's not going to make it. So Rhonda tells him to stop, be quiet. So he stands there not moving, and the two remaining graboids are in front and behind him. So they try to distract them by just screaming and yelling. It's like, "Hey, you sorry son of a bitch, go here!" and all that. And then Rhonda gets an idea to break that loose pipe on the water tower, like the water make the noise hitting the ground. So Kevin Bacon makes it to the tractor, and he hitches up that old semi trailer. Hitches it up. Actually, let me pause this for a moment, so because right back. So let me give this a pause for a second here. Yeah, sorry, I had to take a bathroom break. So, we drink a lot of this stuff, so I had to go to the bathroom, so I had to take a little break for it there. But anyway, now moving on. So, where was I at? So they said they got memory lapse. Val got the bulldozer, hitched the old semi trailer up, so he's able to he picks up Rhonda, then everyone else. So they're all heading over to Burt's place as they're setting they're making some homemade bombs. And it's like, well, that's how we're doing it. We're going prepared. So now they're all able to get in, and Melon's like, "Hey, give me a gun, I'll take one." And he's like, "I wouldn't give you a gun if it was World War III." Like his bird is like looking back at their house, like food for 5 years. Food for 5 years. 1,000 gallons of gas. L for air. What was it? No, 1,000. Here's what I get. It was like food for 5 years. 1,000 gallons of gas, L filtration, water filtration, geyser counter, bomb shelter. He's like, underground, goddamn monsters. So as they're on, so as they're on their way, thinking that they're on their way, they're almost there. So they see some stuff popping out of the ground, thinking what they're doing. But then actually the graboids, they get smart. They dig a trap. The bulldozer goes down, so they're trapped now. So they attack again, they start shooting at them, but then Burt gets one of his bums, like, hungry? Eat this! It scares them off because since there are two senses of sound, so like kind of like it does, like Ron saying, like it hurts them. It's like, oh, it does scare them. It hurts them. They're too sensitive to sound. They gotta run. But then when the Kevin Bacon thing said that, they should make a run for the rock so it'll be safe. And then when Ron explained, you just throw you should get when I throw one of those bombs, the way we want to go, and then when it explodes, we run like goddamn bastards. and Fred Ward just gives her that look. It's like, oh, pardon my French. And then Melvin's like, it's like, they're too fast. We can't outrun. There's no way. And a Burt tempts him, by giving him a gun, which he said he wanted a gun. He's like, yo, Melvin, this will make you think twice. And Melvin says he wants to shoot, but the gun's empty. He's like, oh, Burt, you asshole. So they all make it to the rock safely, and then it's like Melvin's like, Burt, you asshole, there's no bullets in this gun. and Burt's like smiles like, got you moving, didn't he? Of course, well, that's one thing that Melvin says, like, at the end of, of Tremors 3, when he gets left on the rock, he still like, oh, Burt, you asshole! So he just still says the same thing at the at the end of Tremors 3. So they're all on the rock. They're all on the rocks up, but they got nowhere to go. So excuse me again. So as to say that it's a sound like they're giving up. So and then Burgo says, like, wait a minute. We could have stayed at our place. We had food and water. It's like, Fred Ward's like, you can't fight them like that. So you two screw-ups haul us where the hell out here? Like Kevin Bacon gets on his face like, hey, why don't you back off, string bean? We could have left your worthless ass on the roof. I wish you had, fearless leader. Well, I'll put you two in charge. Kevin Bacon telling was like, then graboids don't kill him, I will. So now they're just sitting out there waiting. And Michael Gross, suggesting is like, when it comes to starvation, I know what I'm doing. Take one of these, walk right out there with a fuse, let him take me down. Boom. And Fred Ward is like, that's not a bad idea. No, it gives me an idea. Going fishing like. So they basically plan to, they throw some rocks out there, to make some noise while they throw one of the bombs out there to lure it with the noise. So when it's just gets swallowed, it can blow it up. Kevin Bacon is like, and to Fred Ward's like, you're not going to do your lasso thing, are you? See, that's because you're no good with a rope. So and then Fred Ward does like does his lasso and just throws it out there. And so this is just reeling the bomb, and then one of the graboids takes it, and then boom. There's a practical explosion, not CG enhancements. Even all the leftover body parts splatters everywhere. And then in the camera, it shows them the wide shot of them on the rocks, and the camera pans down. Shows like all the blood, all the good bloody remains of the graboid. So it's another got one more. There's one more left. So the one that pops up are the tentacles. The one that got ripped out from earlier, from when the truck got stalled out. One of the tentacles that got ripped out. That's that one. That's left now. So now it's Val's turn to excuse me again. Now it's Val's turn to lure it in. So this son of a bitch is mine. So he throws it out there, and it takes it, thinking, this is it. It was a funny scene, though, but at the same time, like, the graboids showed that it's very smart. Because they think they got it, it's gonna blow it up, but nope. Showing that it's very smart, it goes and spits it right back out at them. Which I thought that was still pretty funny. It just goes and they're like, oh shit, and it just goes and falls right on top of the other bombs, blows up. But then with the explosion, Val, Earl, and Rhonda, they end up all the way out there. So, but try to run it back, but then the graboid pops up. So the others on the rock, they try to distract him by making some noise, and Michael Gross, he tries to get on the ground and make some noise on the ground. It's like, come on, fresh meat. And then as the graboid slowly back into the ground, then Fred Ward, he takes a couple of steps, and then Kevin Bacon's like, wait, this one's not falling for it. This one ain't dumb. He's trying to trick us. And Fred Ward is telling him to use the bomb, but it's their last one. Yeah, Kevin is like, so when we make it to the rocks, we'll be dead in 3 days anyway. Yeah, like they're telling him to use the bomb. And to tell Kevin Bacon, you know, this bastard ain't smarter than us. I'm gonna go for it. So he starts taking off running. It's, you know, I got a goddamn plan. So all three of them run towards the run at the edge of the cliff. So he breaks the fuse just for a short time. Lights it, but it's too far, you know, throwing it far behind though. And then you get which I always enjoy this scene. Always enjoy this scene too. It's running towards him, towards Val. So it's like, run, Val, run! And then Kevin Bacon just jumps out of the way as it continues, as the graboid just goes and falls off the cliff, and he's like, "Can you fly, you sucker? Can you fly?" And just the graboid just goes and falls all the way down to the ground, and just as it hits the ground, just great blood spatter as the whole body just goes and explodes, and just as his body explodes, as it's hit the ground, because he just goes some great orange blood everywhere. Which that was always a great death for that graboid. He just goes and falls off the cliff and just wham splat. And because we got that score playing, like how it was when Michael Gross killed the other graboid. You have that piece of music playing by Ernest Stross as well. Yes, that was a great cool graboid death. And then Kevin Bacon is just like, well, I guess it just suddenly hit me, you know, stampede. And Fred Ward, he's just like laughing because, you know, how at the beginning he's like, you know, he was a stampede once. So I was like, Kevin Bacon, he's like, well, it suddenly hit me, you know, stampede. So now that everyone's turning out, it's dead now. So I guess like now it's like, I guess it's like the next day because the police is now finally there, and now they're getting new tires for their truck. And Kevin Bacon's like, you know, second wave Bixby, we start making some calls. We can make some real money on this thing. We can get in People magazine. Fred Ward's like, People, hell, National Geographic. And then Rhonda wants to take a picture, and like Fred Ward like tips Kevin Bacon's head, like, "Hey." They're gonna find that was another fun moment too. So, and then Kevin Bacon he like crumbles up the pictures of that other girl that it was like Tammy Lynn Baxter. crumbles up the pictures so she doesn't see him. So, Rhonda's telling him thanks for everything, and Fred Ward is looking and like Val's not saying anything. So and Kevin Bacon's like, I know, I'm working up to it. and he's like, what would a woman like her want with a guy like me? She's going for her damn PhD. So he just goes, walks up to her and then kisses her. And which is and I guess they got married because in the beginning of Tremors 2, when Senor Ortega once told Fred Ward, like, we've always spoken to your partner Senor McKay. He's unwilling to help us. And he's like, sure, Val married a good woman. Why would he want to die? So he said that they both did get married. So then you get the credits going. Then you got that song from Reba McEntire playing. It was a very decent song, which honestly I never listened to too much of Reba McEntire though. I'm not suggesting that she's not bad and all that though, but I just never listened too much of her songs. I mean, the song that's playing during the credits, it's a very decent song though, but I just never listened to too much of Reba McEntire. I mean, I like that song that she sang when she voiced in what was the one where is it? The Last Land Before Time film, Journey of the Brave. I thought that was a decent song that she sang as well. So yeah. So they have that's the end credits, and that's it. So yeah. So yeah, like a different my last commentary of Deep Rising. Like this film was only when the end credits like only an hour and 30 minutes. So I by this time when it's finished, it's like what, an hour and 25 minutes in now. Yeah, I like I did for my previous one for Deep Rising. I did, like I said, I've seen this film a million times, so people probably have seen this film already. So yeah, I fast forward just first for a little bit though, just to keep up, for the pace and stuff. So make so I won't drag it out for that long. But I mean, I've seen this film a million times basically, and pretty much everybody has seen this film. So I wouldn't mind just going. I just fast forward just a little bit though, but I got a majority because I know pretty much have this film memorized. So like, got it memorized. You get what I said? That was what Axel said in Kingdom Hearts. He was like, got it memorized. Yeah, I said I have this film memorized. So I mean, I could pretty much tell you the whole movie by not watching this movie because I have this film memorized, like pretty much 99% of the movie and memorized dialogue to dialogue. So, but yeah. So I hope you enjoy this fan commentary. As I said I was gonna do it for Halloween month, and I did. So I don't know more I can say about this. So when I first started this channel, this is my first film that I reviewed, and I revisited the film already like a while back. So I don't know more I can say about explain more about the film. But like I said, this film is such a classic. A masterpiece in the creature feature department. I love the cast, especially Kevin Bacon, Fred Ward. I love the banter between they have each other, the dialogue they share with each other. I just love the dialogue. They have such funny, hilarious chemistry with each other. Like I said, Finn Carter, Michael Gross, Reuben McIntyre were really good. As I said with other ones like Michael Jacoby as Melvin, Victor Wong as Walter. Tony Gennaro as Miguel, Charlotte Stewart and Ariana Richards as Nancy and Mindy. Well written by S.S. Wilson, Brett Meg, and Ron Underwood. Well directed by Ron Underwood. This has always been a great script for this film. I love the score. I love the score by Ernest Trost, especially like I said the harmonica stuff for the score. Awesome top-notch effects for the graboids. Cool kills. Like I said, the best kill, like I said, was Victor Wong's death, Walter's death. And yeah, it's like in the tradition of the 50s horror movies, Tremors is bound to become a classic, and it is without a doubt absolute classic. One of the most classic creature features to me, and it's also considered one of my all-time favorite films. Watched this so much growing up, so much of it growing up. I love this film to death. I don't know more how much I can praise for this film. I just can't praise this film enough. I love Kevin Bacon. I love Fred Ward. Awesome film. This is so awesome. Yeah, great location. Like I said, like a little modern Western horror film. Like I said, I always love the design look of the graboids. Like I said, I like kind of like original creature look, and like nowadays. Awesome practical effects. We will say the 5 and 6 sucked, so I don't look forward to seeing the 7th one. The bad CGI. That stuff like that just makes the first. It's like making the first film. It disregards what makes the first film great with the effects of the creatures. But yeah, like I said, love these two together. Kevin Bacon, Fred Ward, they're awesome. Love the dialogue. always will. But yeah, but hope you enjoyed my fan commentary on Tremors. I give it 5 stars, 2 thumbs up. Honestly, I kind of don't know how much praise I can always give this film. Classic, one of my all-time favorites. Love this film to death. So I hope you enjoyed my fan commentary on this. And I'll hopefully get to another one pretty soon. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more to come on Halloween month. Later.